There's a new kind of girl dominating pop culture. She's strange, magnetic, and a little bit hard to define. Think Charlie XCX, Gabriette, Billie Eilish, and Mia Goth. Women who stand out from the crowd, but at their own terms. Their look is a rebellion against traditional beauty. Smudged eyeliner, greasy hair, thriftcore meets luxury. Indie rock meets Tim Burton. They look like they don't care, but they care just enough to make it art. It's curated chaos, a visual language that says, I know the rules and I'm breaking them beautifully. They've replaced the old pop ideal, shiny, polished, picture perfect, with something moodier and more unpredictable. It's hot and ugly at the same time. It's glam, but it's also grimy, and that tension is what makes them irresistible. But looks is only half of it. What really defines the weird girl is her attitude. She doesn't explain herself, she doesn't smooth out her edges, she's not trying to be the main character, she already is by default. Charlie XCX called herself Brat. She's one of those artists who successfully turn chaos into an aesthetic. She's bratty, self aware, and constantly reinventing herself musically, while having a consistent narrative at the same time. Her world is neon, digital, and aggressively feminine, but in a way that still feels relatable to people different from her. Charlie doesn't chase trends, she simply lives them, mixing hyperpop and club culture with raw emotion and vulnerability. Her latest era isn't about perfection, it's about mess, control, and the freedom to say, yeah, I'm hot and chaotic, deal with it. She embodies the weird girl as pop rebellion, the girl who knows the system well and decides to glitch it from the inside. Billie Eilish, on the other hand, redefined what it meant to be soft and sensitive. She's an intelligent and talented artist who not only knows her strengths and capabilities but also embraces her weaknesses and insecurities. Her style ranges from colorful hairdos and baggy silhouettes to conventional old Hollywood glamour aesthetic. It's refreshing to see her embrace different sides of herself and not box her creativity and self expression into one category. Because that's how most women are. We're multifaceted, made of complex layers. She's redefined what pop stardom could look like sensitive, androgynous, and unsettling. Now she's grown into her own darkness, merging sensuality with power, letting her music and image evolve without apology. Billie's weirdness isn't for shock, it's for honesty. She's the weird girl who turns insecurity into art, who lets the world see the parts most people try to hide. Now, when it comes to Gabriette, she doesn't smile for the camera, she stares back, unbothered. She doesn't perform for approval, she performs like she's daring you to look away. Her aesthetic is sleek and sinister mesh, latex, disheveled glamour, always teetering between model and monster. As the face of the hot weird girl movement, she embodies that tension between elegance and danger. She's quiet but magnetic, a girl who feels like a character in a film you're not sure you understand yet. Gabriette's weirdness isn't loud, it's in her stillness, her confidence, her refusal to soften her image. She makes femininity feel subversive. Again, a kind of controlled violence dressed in designer. Surprisingly, when you hear her talk in interviews, she comes across as a sweet, friendly girl that you could actually be friends with. Her dark, edgy urban goth style could be misleading to people from afar, but again, this multidimensional aspect about her makes her all the more intriguing and interesting. And last but not the least, Mia Goth. She turns horror into something poetic and strangely elegant. She is the weird girl in her purest, most haunting form. She doesn't play characters, she becomes them, blurring the lines between actress and apparition. In films like Pearl and X, she turned hysteria, desire, and madness into performance art. Her image is eerie, ethereal, timeless. She looks like she could exist in any decade or none at all. She represents the weird girl as a myth, the woman who doesn't just reject the male gaze, she transcends it. Watching her feels like witnessing a breakdown and a rebirth at the same time. Disturbing, beautiful, unforgettable. Off screen, she comes across as quirky and sweet, takes her artistry and work very seriously. She is one of those very few actresses these days that could qualify as an artistic chameleon and shapeshifter, while staying true to the very essence of her own self. And that's what audiences are falling in love with. Not just the clothes or the makeup, but the energy, the raw, unfiltered confidence that feels real in a way most orchestrated celebrity branding doesn't anymore. What these women have in common is their quiet confidence while still coexisting with their insecurities. Their unapologetic sensuality that feels natural instead of forced. Their fearless self expression, and most importantly, consistency in their image. That happens as a result of authenticity. To understand this deeper, we need to draw a comparison of the lived in chaos of the weird girls to the controlled universe of someone who is deemed universally safe and well liked. And no other than Taylor Swift comes to mind. For over a decade, Taylor Swift has been the architect of her own mythology. Every era, every outfit, every word is calculated, not inauthentic, but intentional. She built a universe where everything has meaning, where narrative is power and image is protection. Taylor's world is immaculate. She controls the camera, the framing, the story. She immediately shifts her image, style, and persona to seamlessly align with every new album. She does only play the part, she becomes that person. However, every album she has ever made have had the same underlying theme of feeling defeated, being the underdog, lack of control, and most of all, being the ultimate victim in every situation. Taylor Swift is an icon in her own right, more powerful than the weird girls in terms of fan following, fame, and fortune. Many times in her life, she has felt like or called out for being weird and quirky. But her attitude and intrinsic need to be a people's pleaser and desperately liked by every single person makes her the complete antithesis of the weird girl. Even after reaching an unimaginable level of fame and success, Taylor can't stop obsessing over her own script. The weird girls in this video are the ones burning the script altogether. Charlie, Gabriette, Billy, and Mia represent the rejection of control. They let things get blurry, uncomfortable, even grotesque, and that's exactly why people connect with them. They don't chase redemption arcs or perfect symbolism, they simply live the chaos unapologetically. They don't hop on interviews talking about how much they don't care, because they don't have to. They just say it with their entire being. They cry on stage, post messy photos, wear whatever makes them feel like a joke and a genius all at once. Taylor's power lies in authorship. She writes her story. The weird girl's power lies in abandonment. She lets the story write itself. And right now, culture is obsessed with that surrender. Because perfection feels distant, but weird feels real. The rise of the weird girl marks a shift in what audience want, not aspiration, but permission. Permission to be strange, unfiltered, emotional, and still magnetic. Not flawless, but alive. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe.